Hey community, this is Dr. Hugh and I have an awesome webinar for you today. It's on homocysteine. I'm going to go over one of my clients whose name is Mike. He's a great guy. He's in his early 30s, completely suffering, been completely failed in the medical system. And then he was referred to his mom, and we found a lot of things happening with him. But what I want to spend some time on and go over in this webinar is actually homocysteine, because I've never seen a homocysteine level this high that I've seen in Mike in my entire life. Now, I've been doing labs for over 15 years now, and I've never seen a homocysteine this high. Now, before we get into his case, I just want you to go over so you can understand what this young man was suffering with. So he has gastritis, heartburn, indigestion, and GERD, fatigue, low energy, brain fog, low weight gain. Now, when I talk about low weight gain, he was or is 6'2" and weighs 130 pounds. So I'm 6'2" and I weigh about 240 pounds. So he was extremely underweight, had a lot of problems happening, and we wanted to address this. And no one could actually get to really the cause of the problem. He also is experiencing upper mid back pain, neck pain, and he wants help with his diet. Now, I'm going to go over this as what kind of help are you looking for? Now, the program that we actually did with him is what I consider to be a precision medicine or precision functional medicine plan. So what the heck does that mean? If you're suffering out there with a chronic disease, and 70% of Americans right now have a chronic disease, precision medicine, functional medicine is an individualized, tailored custom plan to fit your specific needs, not someone else, not someone down the street, not your brother, not your mom, not your sister, not your neighbor, not your coworker, you, based on your symptoms, based on your labs, based on how you respond during care. So that's what precision medicine is. Now, I'm going to read this to you because I think this is really, really significant right in here, what he writes. So he says, I have been to a few doctors looking for help and answers, and even with all the tests, have been unable to find a way to resolve my health issue. I have many issues that, when combined, make it hard to function day to day. Now, listen to this. These problems make it hard for him to function day to day. So if you're out there listening, watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to this station so we can get this content out, because I know there are millions and millions of people suffering day to day with their chronic problem and they don't know what to do. What they've done is they've thrown spaghetti on a wall and they're going to hopefully something sticks and they can get better. The medical system is failing everyone with a chronic disease, and that's just the way it is. So he goes on to say, I have a wife and 2 young kids, and my health currently impacts my ability to give them the attention and support that they deserve. Now, every human being on planet Earth deserves health and wellness, and really it comes down to getting the answers, getting the proper testing, and then having an individualized, custom tailored plan based on your specific needs, not on someone else, but on your specific needs. So I'm going to read you this right here. This is, he emailed this to me. He came on board for care, and this is his success story. And at this point, we've really only been working together for roughly, well, let me see here. So when we did his first labs, right here on April 1st, 2025. And this basically was 2 weeks later. So 2 weeks later, with precision medicine, custom tailored design to hit for his specific needs, I'm going to go over what his success is in literally less than 2 weeks. So he says, I've been feeling very full most of the time. He had problem with just being full all the time because he had gastritis. Obviously, because I'm finally starting to eat the correct amount of calories. He wasn't eating the proper calories. Why wasn't he eating the proper calories? Why wasn't he? Because he was always having a sore stomach. Every time he would eat, his gut would get bloated and he would get very sore. So he avoided eating. So, I mean, he was very, very, very thin. That's not an issue for me, but I want to let you know that I haven't had any major issues with my heartburn or indigestion, even with being completely full. especially at night going to sleep. So before, what he had to do is he actually had to sleep in an incline because the gastritis and the acid reflux was so strong. He was also on omeprazole, and he's weaning off of that because no one got to the root cause of the problem here. Now he says here, now I've been waking up almost completely flat on my back, which would have been impossible before. I also haven't had anywhere near as much gas, belching, and farting, bloating, and indigestion as I did before starting the diet and the specific protocols for him to get better. Now you can read this. His pain's much better. He's doing well. Literally in 2 weeks, and he's gone to doctor to doctor to doctor, and they ran test after test after test, and they said, we don't know what's going on. Good luck with you. Hopefully you can get better. So here's what we did. We ran some tests. Now, I'm not going to show you every single test that we ran. I'm going to show you the dates so you can understand what this actually looks like in order for you to get better. Now, here, we ran homocysteine right here. You can see this marker right here. And this is when we ran this marker right here. So April 1st of 2025. This success story came in April 13th. So we're just going to say basically 14 days later. Before people get the labs, like what I do here is I immediately start to work with my clients. So once we have the phone call, once they come aboard, I write a customized tailored plan because I know and 100% certain with all the cases that come to me, there's things that we can do right now without waiting for labs. So we got on the program, and then he went and got his labs. So you can see here, this is going to be April 1st of 2025, and his homocysteine is 69.2, 69.2. Now, here's the thing with this. I've never, ever in my entire life seen a homocysteine of 69, and I've been doing labs for 15 years. The highest I've ever seen it was 29. So I'm thinking, OMG, this has to be lab error, because there's no way that this could actually be 69. Why? Because I've never seen 69 before. So here we go, April 1st, I call Mike up and say, hey man, we got to recheck this because I think we have a lab error. And then you can see right up in here, this is April 3rd. So basically 2 days later, we ran the same test, and what do we find? We find that homocysteine is at 64, and the first time we took it is at 69. I like to see this around 5. So what does this tell us? This tells us that this is not lab error, and this person has a serious amount of homocysteine going around in his body, causing havoc. Homocysteine is a very, very dangerous chemical. It's a protein to have in your body. So I'm just going to Google this. I Google this down here if you want to geek out on the link right here. If you actually go to my website right here, you can actually see these things. You can grab that website, the PDF. So if you're listening to this and you actually want to see the labs and you actually want to see this PDF, what you need to do is somewhere in this video, there will be a link to the actual blog post. And in the blog post, you can download this PDF and go to the links. And then also on the blog post, I'm going to go over basically a very powerful program that I put him on, a protocol that I put him on that really started to turn the needle for him and get him better. So this is what Google says about homocysteine of 69. It's saying it is dangerously high. It's significantly elevated. And these are the problems that can be associated with homocysteine of basically 69. So atherosclerosis, heart attack, strokes, coronary artery disease, thrombosis, deep vein thrombosis, embolism, right? So these are all the things that are associated with having high homocysteine. And you have to realize he's a young man, he's in his 30s, and he's having problems like this. So these are some other problems. We have dementia, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, multiple sclerosis, a bunch of nasty diseases that no one wants ever. Here's some other conditions that can be caused by high homocysteine: osteoporosis, kidney disease, hypothyroidism, psoriasis, inflammatory bowel disease. So what did we find in inflammatory bowel disease? Well, he had tons of gastritis, bloating, gas, constipation. I don't care what name you put on it. His GI system was not well. Okay, so we have here inflammatory bowel disease. We have cancer, congestive heart failure, neural tube defects, and birth defects. Now, what I want to go over right now is I want to show you these labs. Now, these are the labs I just showed you. This is the first one was 69, and then it was 64. Then I'm like, okay, Mike, here's what we need to do. We need to go and do a protocol. And at the end here, I'll show you the protocol. And then what we need to do is we need to recheck. We need to recheck your labs every 2 weeks. So we're going to recheck the one lab, homocysteine. I gave him 4 orders. Every 2 weeks, he's going to go and get his homocysteine checked because this is devastating. And if he wouldn't have gotten precision functional medicine plan from me, he would have continued to suffer. His kids would have continued to suffer. His career would have continued to suffer. His wife would have continued to suffer. Suffering, right? We don't need suffering. God designed us to be healthy and be well. You just need a very specific guided precision path for you to get better. So what did I do with Mike? I'm just a guide, right? Okay, Mike, let's do step 1. Let's do step 2. Let's do step 3. Let's do step 4. Let's check in all the way. How are we doing? How's it going? And it's going great. Okay, so these are the first tests that we did right in here. Now, check this out. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen, because this is absolutely insane. You see this here? This is 64.6. This is the lab that we saw right up in here. We confirmed it was high. So this was on April 3rd. Then we rechecked April 22nd. So basically, what is that? That's 214. That's a little bit over 2 weeks. And guess what? His homocysteine is what? It's 11, man. It came down from 69 to 12. 69 to 12. So what is that doing to his entire body? Like, this is why if you go up here and you read his success story after 2 weeks in here, take some time and read that and read it over and over and over. Because if you're suffering with any kind of chronic condition, you can get better if you've not had precision functional medicine. Point blank, that's the way it is. You work with the laws of Mother Nature and you can get well. We worked with the laws of Mother Nature with Mike and he's going to get well. What do labs do? Labs are a fishing net. The bigger your fishing net, you throw it out, you reel it in, and you see what you have. This is the purpose of labs. They actually are the fishing net to figure out what's happening with his body. So within a matter of literally 2 weeks, right, 21 days, we went from 69 up here down to 12, right? Amazing. His life is way better. His health is way better. He's enjoying his kids. His pain is way less. This is what you deserve out there. Now, we also rechecked it again. Why? Because I want to recheck this every 2 weeks because we're going to have to figure out what is he going to have to do to maintain his homocysteine levels at this lowest possible level. Now, I'm going to show you the 2 products that we used. Now, we used many, many different things than that, so I'm not going to go over the whole treatment program because literally the whole treatment program took me 3-4 hours to craft, and it's very in-depth. But these are 2 powerful supplements that can work very well if you're having high homocysteine levels. All right, now before I get into that, so here's the lab right here. So this was on May 7th. We got it down to 8.5. So here it was 12, and then we got it down to 8.5. So this one was April 22nd. 2 weeks later, we rechecked it. It's 8.5. This is an amazing result. Life is transformed. He's going to be better. You can get better. So if you're out there, reach out to me. You can get better. All right. So what are the couple things that we put him on? This is called NAD Gold. This is a product that's freaking awesome. This is from Quicksilver. It's hard to see there. Quicksilver. I'm a big fan of Quicksilver products. I think Quicksilver Products has some of the best high quality products on the market right now. I've been using a lot of Quicksilver products. So we put him on NAD Gold. And then we also put him on right here, which is called Methyl Charge. And what we did here is we did a gradient scale. So what I mean by a gradient scale, anytime someone starts a program with me, you don't throw everything at them and the kitchen sink. You do one thing at a time. So we started him with the Methyl Charge. 1 pump, 1 time a day. You do that for a couple days. Then you do 1 pump in the morning, 1 pump in the afternoon for a few days and see how you respond. And then you do that for a few days. Then you do 1 pump in the morning, 1 pump at noon, and 1 pump in the afternoon. So you're doing 3 pumps a day. And then you also incorporate the NAD. So if you're out there and you want to know the exact protocol, somewhere there's going to be a link to this blog on my website. And I go over the whole protocol is written out. But I wanted to share this with you because this is a really significant case. that can really impact your life. And if you're out there suffering and you've gone to the conventional system, and they say everything's normal, we don't know what's going on, it's all in your brain, we ran every single test, and they spent $100,000 on you, just like they did with Mike, there is hope, because that system is literally broken. People do not get well in that system. What is that system really good for? Acute care. If someone cuts off your arm, you get in a motor vehicle accident, go there and they're going to save your life. If you have a chronic health condition, point blank, you will not get well. And God designed you to be well. You deserve to be well. All you need is a very specific guided path so we can understand what's going on with you and how to get you well. So with that being said, make sure that you give us a thumbs up and check out the channel, subscribe. And this is Dr. Hugh. And remember, is where there's health, where there's hope, there's help. Take care. Bye-bye.